All rise. We will obey. Please be seated.
We're in open session, Your Honors.
Thank you very much. Witness, welcome back. Hope you had a good lunch. Mr. Hooper will continue asking you questions. Mr. Hooper, we are in public session now.
Yes, good afternoon, witness. We've got a little over an hour of questions this afternoon, and I hope well, let's see how we go.
Do we remain in public?
Yes. Well, I can start off in public. We'll almost straight away go into private. That's the position. Most Kikuyu IDPs got back, that is, those from Cap Sabit. Most of them got back to Cap Sabit, did they not?
Sio wote.
No, I agree with that, but most of them did.
Ni wachache walirudi.
Well, we may differ on that, but that's your answer. Now, you remained at Eldoret. Perhaps we can go into private. We're going to talk about you. Maybe better. It will be, in fact, necessary.
For how long do you anticipate we be in there?
For about 10 minutes.
Private session then.
We are in open session, Your Honors.
My question was, did you make a statement to any commission of inquiry? And we've been in private session. Would I be right in understanding you to be telling us that you did make a statement to a commission or more than one commission? What's the position?
Ndio.
Did you have you ever heard of an organization called the Center Against Torture?
La.
Have you ever heard of an organization called the Center for Human Rights?
Nafikiria kituo cha Human Right nimekisikia kwa umbali, na pia kuna wakati tulikuwa tunaitwa seminars kama Nairobi in 2008, 2009 tulikuwa na
Witness, I've signaled you to stop there. Ken, I have to recall my advice to you to listen carefully and just answer the question in as few words as possible. Part of the difficulty that comes in when you answer more than the question asked is you may end up giving information about yourself that's identifying when that may not be what the lawyer wants from you. Just answer the question he asked and then let him ask further questions. He knows that there are some questions he will not ask you in public session out of the need to avoid identifying you. But it will not be his fault, of course, if you added something else that he did not anticipate that identifies you. So keep it to just his questions, okay?
All right, so you've heard of that organization. Can I ask you, I'm going to ask you about two names, deal with it more quickly. Have you ever heard of someone called Ken Wafula or David Koros? Ken Wafula or David Koros?
hapana.
Now, relatively recently, I understand the government provided any person who can demonstrate they were an internally displaced person with 400,000 shillings. Did you receive such a benefit? I hope you did. Did you receive such a benefit?
As the questions are asked, okay? Just try not to worry about where all this is going. Just listen to his question and answer the question as he asks it. Thank you.
Right, let me, let me jump over all this, aware of the time, and just mention a relatively small matter. And that was, you may recall, a couple of days ago, and this is in transcript 98 at page 57, you were talking about Raila at a meeting you attended, and you said you heard his speech. And I'm just going to read out one line from it and then ask you a question about it. He went on to say the following: even if they try to steal or to rig the votes or the elections, there will be a tsunami, unquote. I'll repeat that. Quote, even if they try to steal or to rig the votes or the elections, there will be a tsunami, unquote. First of all, do you remember saying that?
Ndio.
Now, I suggest that if the word tsunami was used, it was used in this meaning and context, that there was going to be a landslide vote for ODM. Do you agree with that?
Hapana.
Very well. Well, let me just read out to you very quickly and briefly just two references that we've found contemporaneous, that is, said at about the same time, and that's at tab 11 and tab 12. And at tab 11, I have a report from the Standard newspaper, and I'll just read out one section of it to demonstrate what I'm saying. And this is dated the 20th of December 2007, and it's headed, "Kenya, get out to vote for me, Raila tells supporters." And it reads, and I'll read the whole, the paragraph, which is, one casts one's eye down. It's the first main paragraph one comes to, about a few inches down to the top of the page. I'm going to read it to you, Madam Witness, rather than burden you with the print. From Homa Bay, Raila flew to Narok North at Suswa, where he declared a fresh tsunami was on the way from South Africa towards Kenya, in reference to the ANC party defeat of President Thabo Mbeki by rival Jacob Zuma. Accompanied by Pentagon member Mr. William Ruto, former MPs Mr. William Ole Nitimama, Mr. Joseph Nakesari, Mr. Simeon Lesima, Mr. Fred Gumo, and Mr. Franklin Abet, and ODM Kajiado North candidate Mr. Moses de Sakuda, Raila asked President Kibaki to read the sign on the wall saying he should be prepared for defeat. So that's that reference where tsunami is used. Let me just refer to one more, and that's at the next page, aisle 12, tab 12, and this is headed from the Daily Nation on the web, dated 6th of October, my eyes are right, 2007, headed "Kenya Swimming Against Tide, Candidates Face Uphill Task as Poll Clock Ticks." And if we look 2/3 of the way down, we see the name Raphael Tuju, and then just a few lines below that, starting Mr. Odinga. It reads as follows, and let me read this to you. Mr. Odinga has sounded a warning to those opposing his bid for the presidency, just as he did at the referendum with his "tsunami is coming" remark. Now, tsunami, I suggest, one can see is used in a political sense of an ODM wave. Do you understand? What do you say it means?
Ni tofauti na mawazo yangu kabisa.
What do you think? Now, did you ever attend any meeting where Mr. Mudavadi was also present?
Mr. has that question, hold on to it. But as regards the items appearing at tabs 11 and 12, do I take it these reports were a product of Google search?
I think so, yes.
It might actually assist, but if that sort of record of the search indicated, so that one would know the circumstances was generated.
Yes, I think someone has done enough tsunami in that way.
Now, what I mean is, for purposes of authenticity, if it is shown that the record was pre-existing before somebody did a Google search to dig it up, a different value to what is dug up than if it just shows up and we don't know when the record was created. And saying, yes.
I see the point, and to our benefit, yes. All right, thank you very much. Mr. Mudavadi, witness, I was asking about Mr. Mudavadi. Did you ever attend a meeting where he was present?
Nafikiria nilisema na nitaendelea kusema mkutano ambaye kuhudhuria DM delegates au DMs wote, delegation ikielekea stadium.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. When
Sikumbuki mwezi, lakini ilikuwa ni 2007.
and or what?
Nimesema wote walikuweko kama delegates wa ODM. Ndio, nilimwona.
And where did you see him?
Nilimwona town. Mimi sikuona helicopter kwa sababu mahali helicopter ina land ni either showground ama stadium. Kuenda stadium nilimwona kwa magari, watu mdavadi kila mtu. Nilimwona. Sasa si land na helicopter yosielewi.
Right, thank you. I want to take you to a particular paragraph. I'm going to read it out. It's paragraph of the statements that and the 96. And again, I'm not going to I'm just going to read one sentence, maybe two, and let me just put it in. This is after you vote and while you're waiting and you're in this television, you're watching Citizen TV, and you say, you saw Ruto, this is second sentence, Ruto, Martha Karua, Utu arguing on television. I'll read out the paragraph actually. We saw Ruto, Martha Karua and Kivi Utu arguing on TV. The entire ODM Pentagon, that is Ruto, Orengo, Anyang Nyong, Najib Balala, Mudavada, Henry Koski and Margaret Wanjiro were at the KICC. It was the ODM Pentagon leadership was forcing Kiviutu to announce the results, but Kiviutu refused. At one point, Kiviutu wanted to leave. Ruto grabbed him, slapped him, and told him, "You must announce the results, and you will have to announce Odinga the winner." Kiviutu walked out of the KICC building and left in a vehicle. The PN continued to argue. And the one part of all that I want to ask you about is this. You're watching on television, you say, and at one point Ruto grabbed him and slapped him and told him, "You must announce the results." You're watching television. Did you really see that?
Nafikiria kati ya umeisoma upande mmoja kuna ukweli, kwa sababu mimi nilisema, nataka kurudia, wakati Kivito alikura Mr. Ruto alimpiga kofi na akakataa na akaondolewa mahali pale. Another thing, nilisema delegates wote wa ODM walikuwa pale. Niliona kina Anyanyo ya kwa statement, na nilisema Kivito aliondolewa mahali pale wakabaki hapo.
Thank you. I'm only interrupting you because So you confirm that this is something you saw, is that right? You saw it yourself. You saw slap Kiviutu, correct?
Wakati mimi tuliona
whether the witness should not be given a chance to answer the last question that Mr. Hubert asked.
It's Mr. Hubert that's cross-examining. So up to Mr. But perhaps, Mr. Hubag, I do understand the delicate approach, but Mr. Kigan-Cato's point comes in if later on something is to be made of any matter of contradiction, at least settling the witness that make a statement while the witness is on the stand. Needs to happen.
Yes, indeed. Well, let's don't mention any names in public.
So we then go back in private. Yes.
Or we needn't mention the name.
Let's go back to
go back into
private.
private. Yes, there's certain obstacles I see.